Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch. Nolan Johannes is off tonight. There is some good news tonight, and it's for sports fans and businessmen in our area. AAA baseball is coming to northeastern Pennsylvania. The official announcement came this morning at the Luzerne County Courthouse. Northeast Baseball says it's the best of all worlds because the AAA team will be a Phillies farm club. We have Newswatch 16 team coverage tonight. Al the Oxenrider will have details of today's announcement. Mark Davis will tell us about the regional effort to bring a AAA ball here. And Bob Costantini looks at how minor league baseball can affect an area's economy. Sports Watch 16's Tim Carlson is here now with a look at what's happening today with AAA. Tim?
Well, Karen, if you remember, for just about over a week now, we've been telling you that this area would be getting a AAA baseball team, a minor league baseball team, to play in the new stadium in 1987. Today, all the bits and pieces of evidence we presented over that time was verified at a news conference held by Northeast Baseball, the group responsible for acquiring the AAA team. Albie Oxenrider is live at the construction site of the new stadium where the new Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Red Barons team will play. Al, you were there and with me at the news conference today, and how about filling everybody in on what happened?
Well, I'll tell you what, Timmy, the key phrase right now is play ball. Right now, nothing more than a lot of mud and a lot of construction, but 1 year from now, they'll be playing minor league baseball here in Music. Up until today, it had all been speculation. We knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time, just a matter of having it confirmed. The purchase papers were signed yesterday in Maine, and late this morning in Wilkes-Barre, the official announcement was delivered by the president of Northeast Baseball Incorporated, John McGee.
In 1887, the city of Scranton and the city of Wilkes-Barre each were admitted into the International League of Professional Baseball Clubs, which next to the National League is the oldest professional baseball league in the country. I'm pleased to announce that 100 years later, in 1987, subject to the International League approval, which we expect to receive, Scranton Wilkes-Barre will have one combined team in the International League next year.
The price of the sale was $2 million, and as part of the deal, the AA team currently owned by Northeast Baseball goes to Maine. But this story gets even better. When the sale of the Maine guys is approved by the International League next week, the new Red Barons team will hook up with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Barons will become the Phil's new AAA team.
The players that are currently in Portland, Oregon, will be here next year in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre.
John McGee told me there couldn't be a better ending to his dream. In his words, it's been 8 years of keeping the different sides informed and 8 years of hard work that he says has finally paid off. But it's a regional team, and Luzerne County has a big role in today's decision, especially financially. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis is in Luzerne County, and he has that story.
That's right, Albie. John McGee perhaps put it best when he said, if it wasn't for Luzerne County's assistance and the region-wide effort, there wouldn't be a AAA Red Barons team to talk about tonight. That's because the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Red Barons truly are our regional team. The fact that the long-awaited announcement was made at the Luzerne County Courthouse was a definite indication Luzerne County was an important piece to the financial puzzle. The commissioners had not been involved until it became clear it was possible to get a AAA team.
We feel that that was the turning point that made Luzerne County, the Board of Commissioners, make this financial commitment. And we feel very strongly that it's going to be a big plus.
Both counties are co-signing the $2 million loan for the team, which will play here. Luzerne County is committed to a maximum contribution of $75,000 a year for 11 years, if it's needed to pay off the debt. The contribution could be much less. More money will be needed, and that's the concern of this man, Bob Tamber, president of Tamac Corporation in Wilkes-Barre. He's heading an $800,000 fund drive for the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Red Barons.
Well, I think that there will be some people who will feel that baseball in this project is worthwhile and will contribute both ways. And I think it will not be a hot button for other people.
Tamber isn't worried about the financial support, even though the area has already contributed nearly $3 million for the restoration of the Paramount Civic Center in downtown Wilkes-Barre. He says this is a much smaller amount spread over a much larger area. Now, just what does a minor league franchise mean to an area? Well, by most accounts, quite a bit. For more on that aspect of this story, we go to Reading and Newswatch 16's Bob Constantini, where he visited the home of the Reading Phillies, the Phillies' Double-A farm team.
The Double-A Reading Phillies play 72 home games at Municipal Stadium each season. Owner Joe Buzis also owns the Portland Triple-A team. He knows how much the club means to the local economy.
I think at least $2 million, and a AAA ball club will be between $3.5, $4 million.
The Philadelphia Phillies are deserting Buzis' Portland Triple-A team, apparently in favor of Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Still, he thinks it's better for the Phillies to have farm teams where there are Phillies fans.
The fans relate to the players from, Double-A, then moving to Triple-A, then the big leagues, then they could follow these individual players they might like.
Factory outlets bring in more money, but the Eastern League Phillies team is the pride of the Reading people.
It pulls them together a little more when they've got something that they can all be behind.
Tom Norman likes the Reading Phillies as a fan and because visiting teams eat, drink, and sleep at his motel. The Reading Motor Inn makes a lot of money, thanks to the team which calls Municipal Stadium home. There's an Eastern League playoff game here Sunday afternoon. Joe Zubas is inviting everyone from northeastern Pennsylvania to come on down and see the Reading Phillies play. He says it's a good bet that 10 of the players on the Phillies this year will move up to the Triple-A franchise next year. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Reading.
Now, everyone we talked to today was very excited about this and called it a very positive step for the area, because a lot of people are saying it's going to change the way we feel about ourselves, because we have a big item now that promotes this area. And we'll have more on the Triple-A Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons later on in the Sports Watch, including a live interview with John McGee, the president of Northeast Baseball. All the benefits are just beginning. It's almost time to play ball. I'm Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam in Luzerne County.
Terrific news. Thank you, Mark.
Hills has more for ladies.
As a full-up figure, I'm pleased with the size selection at Hills. Not just half sizes, but a full range of full-up figure sizes in sportswear, sleepwear and robes, and dresses up to size 52. That's just a sample. I know, because before you buy them, I buy them for Hills. We're a different kind of department store. You ought to be shopping Hills and such.
Business people in Pittston heard the official word today on plans for a renaissance of the city's downtown. Newswatch 16 told you some months ago about plans for the Old American Theater. A podiatrist who owns the theater is planning to turn it into the Pittston Professional Center and Bus Terminal. Up to $2.5 million of work should begin in a couple of months, and the project should be finished by next Labor Day. When it's all said and done, the center will house a number of offices and businesses. The city of Pittston is going to help pay for the project. The doctor also hopes to remodel 3 other buildings he owns in Pittston. Now let's go out to the backyard and get that word on the weekend weather watch. How about it, Tom?
Okay, Karen, thank you. We've had a cold front moving through the area today. Some heavy showers. I even heard a few rumbles of thunder at noon today. Rainfall in this backyard, 0.14 of an inch. Let's check in with our weather watchers now. Beginning in Carbon County, Frank Slezak has 65 degrees. Still some light rain down that way. Ray Gare in Powys, Lycoming County, 73 degrees. The sun is peeking through, 0.4 of an inch out there. And Ron White in Falls has 75 degrees now, about 1/3 of an inch there, and the sun is breaking through as well. In our backyard now, a few patches of blue overhead, 68 degrees. Humidity still high at 90%. The wind southwest at 6, the barometer at 29.9 and holding steady. Range and temp here today, 70 and 65, 90. The record high set back in 1983, not too long ago. The pollen count today observed in Scranton was 2 grains per cubic inch. That is low. And there's a view today of some low stratus clouds drifting over the slopes of Montage Mountain. Satellite view up next. You can see the line of clouds in the east. Some drier air now coming into central and eastern Pennsylvania. This cold front moving very slowly off the coast. And look upwind. A lot of clear sky up that way, a few patchy clouds, and so a nicer day is guaranteed for tomorrow. But it's snowing now. In the mountains of northwestern Montana, up to 5 inches of snow has fallen in some of the highest mountain peaks out that way. And it'll get quite cold up there tonight with temperatures falling into the upper 30s. Now, 114 the high today out there in Palm Springs.
Here's our forecast for tonight. I think we'll see some stars later on tonight after we get rid of some clouds and a few sprinkles only in the eastern counties for the next couple of hours. For most of the high school football games tonight, it should be okay. Just a wet field. New Milford 56 tonight, Wyoming 58, Lansford about 58. Might want to catch the Antique Show tomorrow at Community Field in Middleburg. That begins at 9 o'clock. 58, the morning low there, and Faxon 56 tonight. The breeze shifting and veering into the west at about 10 miles per hour. Here's the sunrise time for tomorrow morning, 6:34 and 7:29 sunset tomorrow night. The clearing trend tonight, some patchy fog, 58 the morning low. A nice day tomorrow, fresh, low humidity, sunny to partly cloudy, 73 the high tomorrow. A dry night tomorrow night, going to kind of feel like autumn with temperatures dropping into the 50s and upper 40s. Partly sunny on Sunday. Maybe a shower by late in the afternoon, but about 65 for the high. It'll stay cool, Karen, Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Okay.
The Sports Watch is next with Tim Carlson and more on AAA baseball coming to our new stadium. Plus a preview of tomorrow's showdown between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Temple Owls.
There's a new look around the area. The suburban casuals look. And you never know where it might turn up. A new look for women. A new look for men. And a new look in footwear. A look at quality that's a cut above. And a price that's a little below. The suburban casuals look. You never know where it might turn up.
How are we going to get through to you? Everybody's out there discounting, couponing, offering to give away the store if you'll just buy their dry little frozen hamburgers. Do we have to shout to let you know how good a deal a Wendy's quarter-pound single hamburger is for just 79 cents when you buy regular fries and a medium soft drink? I said 79 cents for a Wendy's hot and juicy quarter-pound single hamburger. 79 cents when you buy regular fries and a medium soft drink. Thank you for your attention.
Tim Carlson is back now with more on this AAA situation.
And it's an exciting day around northeastern and central Pennsylvania, knowing that we've got that team coming. Just to recap, today Northeast Baseball announced the acquisition of a AAA minor league baseball team to play in the new stadium in 1987, and it's almost assured it will be a Phillies affiliate. That, of course, is a happy day for the folks in Northeast Baseball. The president of Northeast Baseball, John McGee, is with us live from the Lackawanna County Courthouse in Scranton. John, congratulations. And the first question, how do you think the AAA club moving in will affect sales of season tickets that you have left? About 800, I assume.
Tim, we have calls that are going all over the place. Just since the possibility was discussed last week, the phones have been ringing off the wall. And the impact, the difference between AAA and AA has been tremendous. So the response has been great.
How much of an advantage is it to have a AAA team than AA, especially should it be a Phillies affiliate?
Well, with AAA, you're talking just one step below the major leagues. You're talking about the quality of play being significantly higher. We will be in larger markets, so we'll be getting the name of Scranton Wilkes-Barre all throughout the country. It's a big step for the entire region.
I'll give you one chance to give everybody that phone number if they want to get season tickets.
969-2255.
One more time, John.
969-2255.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. Congratulations to you and everybody in your group and everybody involved, and we're all happy to have AAA baseball coming to our area.
Thank you, Timmy.
All right. We'll talk to you again. That is John McGee, president of Northeast Baseball. All right. Penn State opens the season tomorrow playing Temple. Nittany Lion fans are ready to do some serious tailgating and then head into Beaver Stadium for the first night game ever at University Park. Doubt if many of those Penn State fans are thinking it will be an easy win tomorrow night. They remember last year's game when the Nittany Lions had to struggle to a 27-25 win over the Owls. Penn State head coach Joe Paterno also remembers how good Temple was last year and thinks they're a worthy opponent again this year.
They've got some people. They've done a good job. Their offensive line coaching has been outstanding through the years. And I would think that they'll be ready for us, and we will have to play well.
A big thorn in Penn State's side last year was running back Paul Palmer. He ran for 206 yards on 30 carries. The question remains, can Penn State prevent an encore performance from Palmer?
They don't have quite the experienced offensive line they had last year, whether they're going to expect him to carry the ball as much without that big, strong line, or whether they're going to do some finesse stuff with him, or we're going to get more option than we got last year. Those things we don't know, so we have to be ready for everything.
Game time is 7 o'clock at Beaver Stadium tomorrow night, and we'll have a live report after the game on the 11 o'clock Sports Watch. Well, the weather is playing a factor in tonight's high school football schedule. Most games will be played as scheduled, but there are a few postponements. Here they are. Rescheduled for tomorrow at 7:30, Marian Catholic at North Schuylkill, Shenandoah at Nativity, Mahanoy area at St. Clair, and Tamaqua at Minersville. One game rescheduled for tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and that will be Mifflinburg at Lewisburg. And, of course, we'll have complete coverage on all of tonight's games on the 16 Sports Final at 11. And one more thing, Chris Everloyd upset today in the U.S. Open tennis by Helena Sokolich. She's out.
Oh, boy. Okay.
See you at 11.
Thanks, Tim. Still ahead there, picking, pressing, and preparing the product for this year. We'll take you to the winery next as Newswatch 16 continues.
You may not receive hits like this, but your knee is a special joint with special problems. When your knee hurts, call the healthcare professionals at the Knee Center. Whether you hurt your knee yesterday or if it's a long-time nagging injury, the professionals at the Knee Center can help. Call the Knee Center and you'll receive a prompt appointment and professional service. Remember, when your knee hurts, call the Knee Center first. The Knee Center, located in the Pine Mall, right below the Wyoming Valley Mall on Route 115.
When America was young, beer was something special, brewed in small batches by small brewers all across the land. Only one remains, Yuengling. That's right. 5 generations of the Yuengling family have been helping us quench our thirst since 1829. What a tradition. What a great beer. America's oldest is still America's best. Yuengling.
Finally tonight, it's grape harvesting time in Monroe County. Newswatch 16's Kathy Bellich went picking and pressing in Bangor.
12 years ago, the Flats gave up their life in the hustle and bustle of the New York City area. Charles was an architect, Elaine a teacher, but they decided to get back to the land. They started a vineyard here in Bangor.
It's a matter of your living being your life and your life being your living rather than going to work, separating it with a beer and a TV show when you get home. But it's continuous and goes on all the time, so you have to enjoy it.
Enjoy it, they do, even though it's very hard work. And I can say that from experience. At harvest time, they need as many hands as they can get. 4 years ago, the Flats started making their own wine with these grapes. They make 7 different kinds, both red and white.
I always say it's a wonderful thought to know that people are taking my wine home and enjoying it. For couples and for individuals and for parties and for good times. And it's a wonderful business because my product brings pleasure. And I think that that's a very nice thing.
Most people think of fall as the beginning of the end of the year, not the Flats.
It's the birth, it's the beginning of a new vintage, and it means that life goes on.
Kathy Bellich, Newswatch 16, Bangor.
Well, it's sort of sad to say, but that was our last report from Kathy Bellich. Kathy has been a member of the Newswatch 16 family for 5 years, but she's leaving us now to take a job with WTSP in Tampa, Florida. We'll all miss Kathy very much, and we wish her the best of luck and lots of sunshine in Florida. They're getting a terrific reporter and a very special person. For the team, including Nolan, thanks for joining us. Enjoy your evening.
If you have a home videotape camera, you can become part of the Newswatcher network. When you see news, you can shoot news for Newswatch 16. If we use a videotape story you shot, we'll play it and mention your name on the air. But we can't use your tape unless you're a part of the Newswatcher network. For information, write Newswatcher, WNEP-TV, Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Airport, Avoca, Pennsylvania, 18641. And we'll send you information on joining the Newswatcher network.